It's live.
Yay!
Or it should be live. Let's just hope.
Theoretically, right?
Here we are, live. Or not.
Yes, indeed.
The stream will tell us.
Hopefully.
Or they'll just continue to say that we're late, as usual.
No, it's live. Well, I mean, it'll go live in a second. Anyway, let's not debate whether we are live. That is far too existential.
We're live.
It's true. So,
We're here.
apparently, and I discovered this morning, apparently today was National Podcast Day.
It's still today.
Yeah.
I guess so.
West Coast.
West
Where
Coast,
are you? Where are you streaming from, Lizzie?
I've had a long day. It's been a very long National Podcast Day for me. So, not because I was doing anything podcast related earlier, but you know.
Like, what was like there was something else that was today, but I can't remember what it was.
It was National Hot Apple Cider Day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was National Mulled Cider Day. I know this because I looked up the calendar of all of the foods day yesterday because yesterday was National Coffee Day.
Yes, I remember. Yeah, National Coffee Day was fun. I remember that.
Yeah, there's some amazing latte art out there I've discovered.
It's true.
Yeah, people get really involved.
I saw the most amazing Iron Man latte art yesterday.
You
don't tell Lizzie.
Yeah, you gotta get that out to me.
Oh.
I'll send it to you.
All right, sounds good. Put the link in the description.
Okay.
So people can marvel at the awesome Iron Man latte art.
Unfortunately, not as much art that happens around like cinnamon apple beverages, but
right.
Oh god, I spilled all over myself. People pour drinks in their chairs.
Or like from a small cup into like a larger mug.
Well, it's a shot glass.
Yeah.
I mean,
yes, it is. I thought it had a stem.
Like I'm just pouring tiny glasses into each other.
I don't know. Maybe you just have like tiny tumblers with stems. I don't think that's... Knowing the kind of stuff you own, I don't think that's entirely out of the realm of possibility.
I'm wearing my Hannibal pants, and now they're going to need to be washed. No, Lizzie was like, do you guys have your drinks? And I was like, no, I don't. And she was like, well, we can't start the podcast until you do. And it was like, it was either I mix drinks at the table or I open up a giant, like, sharing bottle of beer, and I have to get up early, so
right.
It's hard liquor for me.
Yeah.
I'm drinking a Golden Road Saison Pamplemousse, which apparently is a grapefruit flavored beer, but it just tastes like beer. I don't know. It was in my fridge.
So it's not grapefruit at all?
Like a little bit, but not a lot. Not like its packaging is very deceiving. This looks like it'll taste like freaking flowers, and it doesn't.
Yeah,
it tastes like beer.
It looks like Urban Outfitters, the beer.
Oh my god, it does look like that.
Yeah, it does.
With like the twirl on it.
Yeah, it does.
That's pretty amazing.
What are you drinking, Lizzie?
I'm drinking everybody's favorite not champagne.
Oh my god.
Nasty.
So.
Good choice, Lizzie. Good choice.
Thank you. I figured, why not drink champagne?
Yeah.
Why not? Exactly. I'm drinking some rum, and I'm going to mix it with this delightful Old Ballycastle ginger extract stuff. It's not ginger beer. It's just like, maybe it is ginger beer. I don't think it is. And then for taste, some rock candy syrup. So we'll see how that goes.
Going with the Trader Vic's.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So I think I'm kind of making a dark and stormy, basically.
It's whatever. Holly went missing.
Oh, I'm still here. Sorry. I was checking my mold. It was.
Yeah, she just walked away. She just walked away like Big Bird. It was just
Holly just rage quit and
I just needed to check my mold because I didn't even know if it was curing or not, and it's like there's just so many wrong things with it. I have to do it again. Anyway.
Oh, I don't have anything to stir this.
No.
Okay. Oh, this is great.
Yeah. Let entropy do the stirring.
Pen. You're in your office. Just get a pen.
Well, it's too late for pens. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I'm just going to rub it on my pants that already need to be washed at this point.
Did you say rabbit?
No.
I'm going to rabbit my pants?
Yes, I did, Lizzie. Yes, I did. So, someone hit my car on Sunday while it was parked.
Where?
In a quiet side street in Hollywood.
What?
The best part about someone hitting my parked car in a quiet side street in Hollywood on a roundabout. Like, there was a roundabout. Like, there were all it needed was speed bumps to create so many barriers to entry for reasons why you can't go fast on this, like, tiny little road. But someone managed to hit my parked car and another parked car.
Oh my God.
And
I didn't realize it was in Hollywood. I thought it was like at your mom's house or something.
No, it was in Hollywood. I was hanging out with one of my friends, and we went to go to Beverly Hills to try nitrogen ice cream, and then we were like hanging out at that Paley Center for the TV arts, and we just were like watching episodes of I Love Lucy, and then we went and sat on a couch at Crate and Barrel, and I think if I hadn't just been sitting on a couch at Crate and Barrel for like an hour, it would have been someone else's car who got hit by some guy who somehow, by all odds, managed to hit my car.
Oh, no.
How far even drive away?
Oh, he didn't drive away. He fucked his car up so bad that he broke his axle. He broke his front axle, and it had to be towed. I'm like pretty sure.
How does that even happen?
So I think this is what happened, because he left a note, either a good Samaritan or because he fucked up his car so bad that he needed to be towed, so therefore he couldn't not leave a note because there was witnesses there. My car got hit in the back of my car. I don't know where my phone is. Oh, it's right next to me. So the back of my car got hit, and it hit the whole back bumper of my car. And here, let's see if I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, or if it's just, so it hit the whole back bumper of my car. It looks like a lot, and that all should be red. Yeah. That's the tail light, and it should all be red. And you can kind of see here, but that's all scrunched too. Right. So this part's all scratched up. The tail light's all broken here, and then over where the gas cap is, it's all dented in and squished. So it's not even the bumper that I have to replace. I have to somehow replace that whole side panel.
Yeah, that's car got hit with the kaiju claw.
Yeah, it pushed my whole car forward. Here's my car again. It pushed, and someone's tweeting at me. Oh, thanks, Jennifer Hale, for retweeting our Crabcast. So it pushed my whole car forward half a car's length into someone's driveway.
That's nuts.
How do you hit someone with such force that it pushes you forward half a car's length?
That's nuts.
But my car didn't even get the brunt of the damage. Look at this other car. Look what he did to this car.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the car that got totally fucked.
What? I
know. And then here's the other side. Here's the other side of that car. It got pushed into the curb.
So
that's the car behind me, and that car got pushed backwards into the red.
Wow.
I don't have a story that's that bad, but I had I don't know what it is. My car just attracts people rear enders. So
rear enders.
It's
not the spin-off to EastEnders, but it's all about car accidents.
Yeah, it's all about automatic fault rear ending in California. So anyway,
Yeah, no question about it.
Yeah, people. So anyway, Californians are the worst about tailgating and cutting people off. Really about driving in general. So it's not surprising that I'm rear-ended so often. Like, I always leave plenty of space in front of me and the other car, but people just follow so closely, and like I try not to drive in the left lane. So I like to think I'm a pretty, conscientious and aware driver. But I had just had somebody had hit me from behind and like stripped all the paint off my bumper, basically.
Okay.
So I had that fixed, and then I went to Trader Joe's, and it was one of those strange times where the Trader Joe's parking lot is completely empty.
Oh no!
So it was my car and one other car, which was one of those like bright like robin's egg blue Priuses.
Yeah.
And so it was me and then that car. So I go into Trader Joe's, I do my shopping, I come back out, the Prius is gone, and there is a giant like robin's egg blue streak across the back of my bumper. And I was, well, obviously it was the Prius because there were, number one, no other cars. Number two, no other cars with that, like, color. That just, but how do you hit the only other car in the parking lot?
Yeah, it's pretty hard. People just have, like, skills that they don't know about. Yeah, I think in this case, I think this person maybe tried to make a U-turn on the street and U-turned into our cars.
Yeah.
Because he left a note, and I didn't even, my friend dropped me off at my car, and I got into my car, and I was like, ugh, someone left spam on my windshield. How annoying. Probably like telling me about their like, lawn mowing service or something. So I went and got out of my car to, like, get rid of it, and it was a business card and a note. So I like saw the business card, and it was like for a tow service, and I like threw it on the ground. And then I like pulled out the note, and I was like getting back to my car and looking at the note, and I was like, it was some person's like all their information. And I was like, wait, what is this? And then I was like, oh my God, why? Someone hit me. Someone must have hit me. So then I look around my car, and then I see it on the back, and I'm like, oh, fuck. And then I see all of a sudden the other car in the back of me, and that there's all of a sudden loads more fucking space. And I wonder if the car behind me hit me, and then I'm like, wait, no, it's on the side. This makes absolutely no sense. And then I'm like, maybe I shouldn't have thrown that tow truck service business card on the ground. So I go back and pick it up, and on the back of the tow truck service it said, I have pictures of the car that hit you, call me. So I called him, and he came over, and he like sent me pictures, and I guess this was the tow truck that picked up this guy's car. Eventually, like, the douchebag who hit me came back, and I knew it was him because A, he was taking pictures of the crime scene, and B, I saw him in one of the pictures, and I was like, are you the guy that hit me? Because he didn't even say anything to me. He's just taking pictures, and he's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, you hit me. And he's like, oh, well, you have all my information. And I'm like, well, first of all, I can't read this. It's a little hard to read. So let's verify some of this. And he's like, yeah, my wheel just locked up, and I hit the other car, and then the car was still moving, and I hit your car. And I was like, how did your wheel just, like, spontaneously lock? Like, this isn't like The Exorcist where, like, the devil just, like, possesses you if you let him into your heart. Your wheels just don't lock, like, by themselves. And so I was like, okay, well, I really don't want to hear it. And he, like, just kept apologizing. And of course my mind goes to the place where I'm like, if we're ever in court, I don't want to have ever said that I acknowledged your apology. So I was like, anyway, so I need to figure this out. So, okay, but here's the thing about this story that I didn't think was weird until I was talking to the insurance broker on the phone, and she was like, okay, so, read me his policy number, read me his license plate, what's his name? And I'm like, okay, and when I looked on the piece of paper, like, it seemed to make sense, But when I read it out loud to her, all of a sudden it sounded like a super fake name. And I was like, oh, okay, his name is Shawshank Shawarma. Wait, what?
That absolutely cannot be his real name.
Shawshank Shawarma?
Wow.
I just, like Mr. Shawarma? That sounds like a restaurant.
Shawshank Shawarma.
That's... Well, maybe that's why. Maybe he didn't, he didn't want to introduce himself.
Yeah.
Make it awkward.
I don't know. For all we know, this is like what he does. He just
like
goes and his wheel locks up and he hits cars, and
It's a
this
ruse.
is like his alias.
Right.
Shawshank Shawarma. I may not be Iron Man,
Right.
but at least I have Shawshank Shawarma.
The ability to break things.
He's hit 80 cars just this past month. He slips through our fingertips
Incorrigible.
every time.
I don't know.
Anti-hero. Shawshank Shawarma. Hitting white girl privilege
Indeed.
where it hurts. So that's like basically like my life.
Getting hit by people with fake sounding names.
Yeah, super fake sounding names, and then, you know, going and getting a rental car and then being like asked to drive this like shitty Chevy Impala, and I was like, no, I don't want that car. Can you give me another car? And then they were like, okay.
What's wrong with the Impala?
Well, it was just like super dinged looking, and also it was empty, and I was like, I have places to be. It looked like an undercover cop car. It was like
What? No, we all know undercover cop cars are those Ford Escorts that are
Oh my god.
like all black or all white.
they're all like, yeah.
With an antenna that definitely doesn't look like it looks like it's from 1993.
Yeah.
And
they
they're just
have
like,
the
yeah, this is
giant
totally...
lights on the side. The
Yeah.
giant lights. And you're like, how are you undercover if you have giant spotlights on the side?
Or wait, maybe it's not the... Or no, it's not the Escape. It's the...
It's not the Escape.
The Crown Victoria. Is that it?
Yeah, the Crown
It's
Vic.
the Crown Victoria, yeah.
And a lot of taxis are also Crown Vics, too.
Yeah, so it just looks like
Repaint
taxi
them.
/ I never thought the Impala looked... I don't know.
Maybe it's because it was the same color white.
That's likely, yeah. So, but anyway.
Yeah.
So,
Well, hopefully Shawshank Shawarma will have insurance.
He has Geico, so we can all be a little relieved that, you know, the gecko or the caveman or whatever, like, confused branding that company has, you know, is hopefully actually good.
well, I'm thinking of Affleck. Like, whoever...
That's the duck.
Right, that Gilbert Gottfried, like, used to do the voice, but then he said something racist or offensive or something, and they
Did he?
fired him.
I
Yeah.
thought that was that one guy who was doing like Allstate, and I guess he's like, oh wait, no, that's the healthcare thing where that one guy doesn't believe in vaccinations. He was the one on like White Girls or like the Gigolo movie.
I don't...
Yeah, I don't know what I don't.
No,
I don't know.
you know the guy who was on the Gigolo movie?
What Gigolo movie?
It was like Bruce Digolo, Male Gigolo, or whatever.
Didn't watch that one.
Yeah, I missed that one.
He like I think he either used to be on SNL or Mad TV, and if you saw him, you would know him. And he was one of the Allstate people, and he switched from being liberal to very Republican, and he is like super anti-healthcare, anti-vaccinations, and then a bunch of people went on this campaign to be like, hello, healthcare, how can you have a spokesperson who is anti-vaccinations? So they got rid of him, and he like did one of those like, I guess we have no freedom in America tweets,
Oh,
and I was
gosh.
like, you're an actor. I'm sorry, but
Well, it's like Jenny McCarthy, who like doesn't who like absolutely can't science worth anything. I mean,
And
I
then,
honestly,
like, it turns out her son is not autistic.
is that true?
Yes, her son is not autistic after all.
Did she say that, or did he become
Found out.
cured?
She was like, "Oh, it turns out my son's not autistic. He has some other like learning disability."
Well,
And then you're like, "Wait, are you going to apologize?" And she's like, "I still don't believe in vaccinations because I think it turns other kids autistic, but actually my son just has a learning disability."
Wow.
I mean, I'm not laughing at his learning disability because like that's a very real thing, but
But you're laughing at
like,
her stupidity.
I just can't believe
Like, someone must have
Oh.
stepped on her head as a child or something.
I mean, I think it's just one of those things where she knew she could get attention for it. And, like, what the hell show was she on? On MTV?
I don't know.
Wasn't she on, like, some MTV show? I feel like she was.
Probably, like back in, like, the Carson Daly era.
Yeah.
Back when, like, Tara Reid's boobs were, like, acceptable.
Right, exactly.
Before Sharknado, like, brought her back.
Is she, like, having a, like, full-on comeback?
She is. I think Sharknado revived a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, you know, I guess good for them.
Yeah.
Keep bringing in the Sharknado bucks.
Yeah. Cheers to Hollywood revivals.
Yep, indeed. So, there was something I was going to talk about, but now the Asti, everybody's favorite not champagne, is I'm starting to feel the bubbles.
How many glasses have you had?
This is like I've only had half a glass, and this is my
Really?
this is my second half. Yes.
You have to drink the whole bottle to, like, really get giddy.
No, I can't. Not this bottle.
Oh, Holly, you have to say something, otherwise no one can see it.
I know, Kitty.
Well, can they see it in the thumbnail? Do they see a thumbnail?
Well, she has to say more than just kitty, because then it'll go to it and go away really fast.
I don't know, I just made it. It's a kitty. Anyway.
It's very cute. What are you calling it?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Ross and I went to dinner the other night, and there were these people next to us that had, like, I guess, like I'm guessing that they.
And why were you out to dinner?
Because it was our anniversary, so we went.
Did you have a nice anniversary?
We did. We went to Mohawk Bend and then came back and played World of Warcraft.
Very good.
That's
What
that's
is
the way to do
what
it.
is the 2-year anniversary? Do you know what the tradition
cotton.
is for 2 year?
Cotton?
Yes, and Ross got me. I mean, he didn't give me any cotton, but he got me the El Pollo Grande chicken mount for World of Warcraft.
That's I mean, I feel like that's almost like cotton.
Yeah, in a way, yes. In a way.
It kind of works.
So he got me that, and then I bought him, after he told me he bought me that, I bought him 2, like, giant, like, store displays of the cards, like World of Warcraft scratchers. Like, you don't know what you're gonna get.
Whoa. Like, how big when you say store?
They're like 24 packs.
So you got 48 packs of, like, scratchers?
Yes.
What?
Did he get anything good?
Huh?
Did he get anything good?
He hasn't. I haven't gotten them in the mail yet. We were like, oh man, our anniversary's coming up. Let's, like, both tell each other what we got and kind of panic about it, and then just go to dinner.
You should film it and do, like, one of those, like, hyper videos or whatever.
I don't know.
That'd be cool.
It's like an iPhone feature.
I don't know. You'll have to vouch for that. I wouldn't.
I don't know what that is.
Everyone I know is talking about hypervids.
Okay, well, it is.
I don't.
Them kids.
I know.
And then you flipagram it.
Flipagram it.
Yeah.
And then put it on the the facer.
And then you put it on Yammer.
It sounds like you're making this up.
No, I'm not.
What is Yammer?
It's a site that no one uses. That part is not good advice. Don't go to Yammer.
What? I gotta look this up now. I've never heard of Yammer.
Anyway, I was gonna finish my story. So.
All right.
So you guys went to dinner.
Yes, and the people next to us were on like some really awkward date, and I'm guessing like Ross was like guessing that they had met on like Christian Mingle or something because the whole time the guy was like talking about like the singularity, but not. His idea of the singularity was that robots were like going to evolve and then like be better than us and then kill us and then just be robots. And I was like, I don't think that's what the singularity is. The singularity is like us becoming like immortal and uploading our consciousness to robots, not robots like killing us. That would kind of be like an apocalypse scenario.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's like kind of both.
Yeah, but anyway, so he's like kind of wrong and talking about this stuff, and then the girl like starts talking about like he starts saying like the afterlife like isn't real, blah blah, and the girl's like, well, I believe in Jesus, and then like he backpedals like really hard.
Oh my God.
Their date goes on forever. Like their date goes on and then like Ross and I are like eating dessert, and finally they leave, and Ross hears him be like, so you want to like hang out after this? And the girl's like, no, actually I have to go to an art show, so like yeah, I'm just gonna go. Bye.
Was she like a hipster Christian or like?
I don't know. I don't know. But it was just really funny because they were like, it was so sad and awkward. It was just really sad.
Yeah, I would have just been like, I'm sorry, like you're not getting laid anyway, obviously. So
yeah, the guy was just like trying to science, but like totally wasn't. And I was just like, wow. So half the time when we were supposed to be like on our anniversary dinner, we were just like eavesdropping on this sad couple and then laughing at them.
Yeah, I mean that basically sounds like a good anniversary is being like, you know what? We've been married for 2 years and we don't have to
That's
go
true.
through that horrible, awful bullshit ever again.
True. It was just really funny.
Happy anniversary. We have each other.
do you have more cake?
Huh?
Do you have more cake left over?
Well, the cake was gone. That's only the first year. We just
Yeah,
had worse.
I can't imagine like saving your anniversary cake after 1 year.
1 year was enough. 1 year was like
It's like totally inedible.
It wasn't bad actually after 1 year. Like I think because that cake was just so good, it was still okay.
Well, Sejong like wrapped it up and like super sealed it.
Yeah, she did. She did.
To make sure it wouldn't go bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if she hadn't, people would have 100% eaten it. We're talking about Holly's wedding cake and how she saved one of the planets, I think it was the red planet,
It was, yeah.
and put it in her freezer for a year because on your first year anniversary, you're supposed to save the cake topper. And I think none of us thought that the cake got saved because literally that cake got destroyed.
Yeah, like Kelly was eating like one of the Normandy's wings.
A lot of people were quite tipsy at that point.
I don't actually think I had any of the cake.
You might not have.
I'm not surprised. It was a madhouse.
I didn't
bar at your wedding.
I didn't have any cake. I just had a bite of my mom's cake. But Sejong had because she was already married, she knew to save one of the planets, and she was like, Holly will be glad that I did this, and she was.
I was at least morbidly curious about how it would taste after.
Just to do the experiment.
I think like the next day or like sometime later, you opened the freezer and you were like, oh, there's my cake in the freezer.
I didn't know it was there. It was a lot later than a day. It was like weeks later.
And then you're like, oh, my cake's in here.
Pretty foul.
Indeed.
Oh God, I have 10% battery in this PC.
Oh no.
Get your charger.
It's like one of those high impact movies.
What high impact movies?
I don't know, like some kind of countdown. It's like in Sonic when he's about to run out of air.
Oh, that noise, the music.
Oh God, this isn't even my computer. I don't know where it plugs in.
Just, I don't know, probably the back.
Is there seriously there's a screw in this outlet? Shit.
What, in the actual outlet?
I'm fairly certain there's a screw in this outlet.
Well, don't, pull it out with your hands.
Well, why was I touched it, though.
Well,
Like, is that safe to touch it?
no, don't touch metal things that are stuck into an outlet.
Okay, I'm gonna take a picture of it though.
As a rule, that's not a good idea.
All right. Well, you guys just keep talking while I try to figure this out.
So I vote for Lizzie making crazy moon videos.
Oh yeah, so I guess we could put the link in the description. But Holly, or I guess Hillary, found this amazing like retro video put out by General Motors like defense division that's from the 60s, and so it is totally amazing. And I want to make videos in the same sort of style, but explaining like like popular science concepts or something like that. So we'll see. Maybe if I get shit together and I have people to help me, cough cough, I would do something like that. It'd be pretty fun.
It'd be pretty fun.
So
and, like Eric be your like assistant.
Maybe. I kind of like the idea of it just being me doing the voiceover.
Oh, that'd be pretty good too.
Yeah.
I was picturing more like Beekman's World, where like you are.
Like, I hated Beekman's World.
What?
Yeah.
Why'd you hate Beekman's World?
I just didn't like it.
You didn't like Beekman's World?
No. I mean, he was like the goofier, like poor man's Bill Nye. Like, I don't think Beekman was a scientist. I mean.
No, Beekman really wasn't a scientist. That's why I liked it. I was like, this guy knows everything for no reason.
Where did Jessica go now? Oh, she's plugging in her computer. So far, I'm the only person to not just have left. But, yeah. Yeah. What did so I watched something. God, there was something I wanted to talk about. I apparently can't remember anything. So
that Asti, man.
It's totally the Asti. It's getting. There's no way I can drink the whole bottle because
you like don't want to. That's bad news.
This was the only bottle they had.
How is it so big?
I don't know. This was the only one.
Rite Aid?
I think like the Ralphs.
Oh my god.
And like that was all they had that was cold. So anyway, I'm definitely not drinking all of that. So
yeah, I didn't leave the house today because I was like, I just got back from convention. I don't want to leave the house, so I just stayed inside, but I had no food. So I made myself Beanie Weenies. Have you ever made yourself Beanie Weenies?
Is that like beans with hot dogs?
Yes. I mean, I had vegetarian hot dogs, but I was like, I'm going to make Beanie Weenies. So I made Beanies.
Isn't that called like Franken beans?
Well, I called it Beanie Weenies.
Did you make up that name?
My parents called it that, so I don't know. Maybe. My dad probably made it up. Oh my god, my dad called me the other day.
What did he say?
Oh god.
So you have to give people context for people that have no idea what your dad is like.
I mean, my dad's just a ridiculous surfer as an adult. He's like a child, but as an adult. And he called me the other day and was like, God. He was like telling me how, so he works for the sheriff's department, right? And he's a teacher, he's not a sheriff, and he got pulled over for like not seeing a sign, and I guess like the cops still gave him a ticket, even though my dad was like, I work for the sheriff's department. Oh, he's gotten out of every ticket for the past like 30 years because he's worked there for like 25 years or something, because he tells them he works at the sheriff's department. So he calls me and he's like telling me this story.
Tell them that like while he's pulled over?
He tells them when he gets pulled over, he says, I work for the sheriff's department, and they're just like, okay, move along, sir, like every time. Like,
move along, sir.
Yeah.
By the way, did you guys notice that I got kicked off?
No.
I was wondering where you went, and I assumed it was because you were plugging in your computer. Okay.
Battery died. I'm back now. Go on.
Obviously.
But anyway, so he calls and he's like, oh, this guy gave me a ticket, blah, blah, oh my god, like, he gave me a ticket, and like, so the next day, I like went back to the same spot where he gave me the ticket, and he was there, so I just like pulled up behind him and got out of my car and was like, dude, like, like, I work for the sheriff's department. I don't want this ticket. And he was like, oh, do you know so-and-so? And my dad was like, well, I get lunch with him all the time. Like, I work for the sheriff's, man. Like, blah, blah, blah. And the guy's like, oh, okay. Well, you know, just go to court and, like, I won't show up, so it doesn't matter. And my dad was like, all right, dude, cool. And just, like, went back to work.
And then he got out of the ticket?
Yes. And then
essentially,
he was, like,
right?
in the same phone call, he was like, oh, and I was also, I'm doing his voice, by the way. My dad's great. I love him, but he's hilarious. He was like, oh, you know, I also was going to stop by your house and surprise you for your anniversary and bring you guys flowers and stuff, but, like, I need to get a TB test for the jail. And, like, I faxed it in, but I faxed it in backwards, so they didn't get it. So they said that if I didn't put it in fast enough, I would get unpaid leave. So I had to go home and fax it the right way because, man, that faxing really confusing. So I'm sorry I didn't get to come bring you flowers or anything, but, you know, happy anniversary.
Oh, my God.
Tell us how you really feel, Holly.
I was just like, thanks, Dad. That's great.
So I guess totally unrelated to that, but I guess still in the same vein of, like, public servants.
Right.
Wait, before you start another story, this is just, like, really quick. Okay. There is something totally in there, right?
It's out of focus. It looks like something is in there, and the top.
I think part of the plug, like part of a plug.
What happened, Jessica, is the inside metal part of the plug is bent. Like,
no.
I think there's part of another.
It's totally part of a plug inside the plug.
It's the grounding.
I think someone ripped out a plug and
like that came with it.
Came off.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, I have to sort that out.
I'll come over and fix it.
Fine.
Gee whiz, we'll have more drinks.
Yeah, exactly. Right. We'll have drinks and then I'll turn off the power and we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Chimneys.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's
all right. Well, that mystery is solved. All right. Yes. Go ahead. So, in the vein of Holly's faxing or driving and
it's tangentially related to driving and or elected officials. I guess.
Okay.
And so, for those of you not in the U.S. who are maybe watching, it is midterm elections time, which is the elections that come between the 4-year elections, where we elect the president. So
it's the election no one cares about right now.
Right, and you should though. It's like your civic duty. So anyway, nuh-uh.
I said
Oh, I thought you were like
No, I vote.
Okay, good. But anyway, so at least around here, the mayoral elections are starting, and I'm always the least I'm never living in a place long enough where I get familiar enough with the city politics and things like that to really make super well-informed decisions. So I try to do as much reading as I can, and I don't just arbitrarily vote. But there was this, I was driving, so there are a couple of main streets. It's an awful, I live in basically a suburban hell, because that's where my college is. So, you do what you can. But
no subtext there.
Right. Wow,
so
this
you live in a suburban hell.
So I live in a suburban hellhole.
It is not strong, Lizzie. That Asti is 6% alcohol.
It's hitting me. So there's the mayoral election and the city commissioner positions and things like that. So there's about 4 streets that are basically the only way that you can get to the shopping centers and stuff like that. Unless you want to go to another person's house, you basically have to take these main streets that have 5 lanes, but they're surface streets.
Right.
They're 5 lanes, and the speed limit is 55, but they're surface streets. But anyway, there's always horribly clogged, and there's literally a stoplight after every single intersection. I shit you not. Every single intersection has
Terrible.
A stoplight. And so I'm driving by, and you know how they have those signs that stay up even after elections that say vote so and so for such and such office that nobody gives a shit about?
Yeah.
one guy's was like, it was his name, and it was like, synchronize the traffic lights. And I was like, all right, well, that's made my decision. That's literally like, that is the only person I am sure I am voting for.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, vote where it matters. That guy sounds like that's, I mean, he knows how to market himself.
Well, then we got the book with the candidate statements, and his was like, I'm not really a politician. I don't know. I've just been asking people, and that's one of the things they want. I shit you not. It's like something like that.
You're like, that's my guy.
I was like,
he's not going to get elected, but I'll vote for him.
I for sure will. So
I just am still registered. I'm still registered in my hometown.
Do you get like a mail-in ballot then?
I do a mail-in ballot every year, and it makes jury duty really annoying.
Yeah, because you're like, I don't live there.
I know, but this time in jury duty, I was supposed to have jury duty last week, and luckily I logged into the website, and you don't have to do the thing where you call in the day before anymore. Just for everyone out there, you can log in anytime, and they update the statuses all the time. So I logged in like a week before to try to say like, hey, like, I'm really busy right now. Like, I've got, some like brand new projects and things that like I really, really can't like just leave. Like, it's the beginning of the project, so can I postpone? And I logged in to like, try to bullshit my way out of jury duty, and they said like, hey, you aren't needed. And I was like, oh, cool.
That's
so
good.
Anyone out there, log in as soon as you get your jury duty and just keep checking. But yeah, I'm hometown because my mom keeps up on all those things, and so
you're not like, whoops, there was an election?
I know all the hometown politics and who's dirty and who's not.
Well, the representative from our district is like the #1 most corrupt congressman. Like, really? He's on some list. Yes.
Oh yeah. Our home is awful.
It is
so
another
part.
suburban hell.
I feel like I'm doing my part to be like the tiny voice that has absolutely no impact, but I try.
Indeed.
I try. In a sea of opposition.
That's fair.
Holly is like, she's walking around so much, and I think I might have lag or something, but she was gone, and then all of a sudden she just appeared sitting.
Yeah, she just keeps materializing.
Yeah, it's like she's a wizard.
Maybe I just have secret powers.
Have you been eating Mage Pops again, Holly?
Yes.
I did watch, I don't go to the movie theater except for, unless my friends invite me, or if it's a movie that I'm just like diehard fan and I have to go see. So I finally got around to watching Winter Soldier because they finally made it available to rent, and I got very excited when they like name dropped Stephen Strange. I was like, Holly!
Out in the theater, right? I like freaked out. It was crazy.
Holly.
Yeah, I was like, oh my God, Stephen Strange. They're just like casually saying his name, even though they've never said it in a movie before. Like, they're just saying it like it's not a big deal. That's crazy.
Excited. It means it exists in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, so they're like now they like have to have a movie.
Well, I got excited about that, and I got excited about the Scarlet Witch because I actually really like the Scarlet Witch.
Yeah, the Scarlet Witch is pretty awesome. There was, I think, so my favorite definitely, probably, yes, I can almost guarantee this is probably not canon, but there was the Iron Man cartoon from, like, the, like, mid-90s. It was, like, the Marvel Action Hour or whatever.
Probably, definitely not canon.
Yeah, no, probably very definitely not canon. But anyway, I think that's, like, one of the most ridiculous incarnations of Scarlet Witch.
Mm-hmm.
Because whatever, she's like hanging out with like War Machine and then like, Iron Man, and is Spider-Woman there too? Yeah, I think it's like Spider-Woman and Hawkeye. It's like the strangest team up of people. And I mean, this is back, I guess, when like Iron Man was B-list, so it's like a bunch of like super B-list superheroes. So anyway, like the animation is horrible, and so like if you all want to watch it, go ahead and watch it. But anyway, there's this one part where I think
is there somewhere where it can be easily found? That's not illegal?
It was on Netflix like forever. It might still be there, but yeah, it's just like 90s Iron Man cartoon. So she's like reviving Tony at some point, I think, and she starts like doing this like really creepy chant that's like sha na 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 na, and like the animation is like so out of control, and she's like sha na 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 na, sha na 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 na, ooh, unlock your secrets, unlock your mystery, and like that's how she revives him. And
it sounds so new age.
It was absurd. I rewatched it probably 20 times because I could not stop laughing because it was ridiculous.
It's a strange movie where the 70s one where magic is just him going like this, and it's like, and he's like, and I'm like, that's not, and then like something would like fall off a shelf or something, and I'm just like, what? They like didn't even animate any magic. It was just like whatever.
Yeah.
Is that a live action or a cartoon?
It's live action, and it's amazing. It was actually on like some like BuzzFeed or something article, probably not BuzzFeed because I've never seen it on there, but like some comic book website article about like the worst special effect like ever done because they have Dormammu in it for like 2 seconds, and I kid you not, it's like a sheet like draped over like a gobo light. Oh my God. Like not even joking. It's terrible. It's like literally listed as ever. It's literally like a sheet. Like it's like not even. It's like it's embarrassing. It's amazing.
I cannot even, like, me imagining, like, Dormammu as, like, a sheet, like, on top of a light is just, like, priceless.
Yeah. Okay, well, Holly, you have just given so many people Halloween costume ideas.
Yeah.
Now everybody is just going to get, like a lamp and a sheet, and people will be like, are you a ghost? And, you know, and they just be like, I'm Dormammu from Doctor Strange, obviously.
Exactly.
Stupid idiot. You fake geek.
Yeah, fake geek.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? And then, like, some equally, like, you can't, like, wear, like, your awesome Doctor Strange costume, Holly. It would have to be, like, some, like, red trash bag with, like cardboard accents or something.
No, she could wear it. She would just have to make the crazy face.
Yeah. I always tell everyone when I'm wearing Doctor Strange, and they're like, what do you think of the movie? And I'm like, let me put it this way. My friends aren't excited for the movie. They're excited to see how I react about the movie.
I would go see it, like, at the midnight launch anyway, which they're not actually at midnight anymore. Like,
yeah,
it's
like 6 p.m. And
yeah,
I'm like,
it's like 5 or 6. And I'm just like, what? No, it doesn't come out tomorrow. It comes out today, like, in the early evening.
I know. I kind of like that because I don't like falling asleep or like fighting to stay awake. I know that a lot of people get excited about that, but I'm, somehow I become an old person. And so I'm like, 6 p.m., this is a reasonable time, even though it's a lot less exciting than staying up all night and then, having to get up early in the morning and tell all your friends that you pulled an all-nighter to see the midnight launch.
I like getting up and telling everyone I pulled an all-nighter.
I know. I'm the outlier. I am the Liz Lemon that is ruining the midnight launch for everyone.
See, well, I mean, it's not really worth it to me to even bother telling people because people are just like, of course you would.
Well, Lizzie, I found a picture. I don't remember where. I was like cleaning out one of my old computers, and I found a picture of the Tron midnight launch when you were like shit-faced.
Oh my God, you were so drunk,
Lizzie.
I heard so much about that. I wasn't even there, and I remember it.
Oh my God. So some context. So
Lizzie's birthday, so no one could be mad at her.
Right. So, why would you? I was having a good time. I didn't do anything terrible.
You love Tron. It's fine.
People just kind of had to watch you.
I did need a good amount of babysitting.
So if it hadn't been your birthday, I think people would have been annoyed. But because it was your birthday, it was endearing.
The best At Eric's birthday party the last weekend, Lizzie got really drunk, and Lizzie...
I
know, because Lizzie was texting me at work. I was, like, working, and Lizzie was texting me, and I was like,
okay,
I have to respond to this, because it might be, it's just Lizzie drunk texting me.
Okay, so...
4 p.m.
Oh, God.
It was, like, 5 on a Sunday.
So I guess related to that, I guess I won't tell my Tron story because
tell both of them.
Well, it's funny because I was talking to some other grad students because we were doing like a bunch of like orientation stuff for the incoming.
Are you getting into a third story where you get drunk at orientation?
No, I'm saying we were talking about how graduate students basically all have functional alcoholism.
Fair.
And so anyway, it was after and this is important context too, it was after my first quarter of grad school. That was literally, I had just finished finals for my first quarter of grad school, and then we did Tron Party. So,
and in your defense, the drinks at your birthday party, I think were blue.
Yes, they were. I had made blue ones and red ones, or like orange ones, so it would be like, like Tron colors.
So that was your greatest tragedy right there.
Basically, because what can you do? I mean, it's just like, let's mix a bunch of, really strong hard alcohol with like syrups and like blue curacao.
And a flask was also brought to the theater. And a thermos.
It was a thermos of alcoholic hot chocolate. But yeah, I fell down quite a lot on the way back to the car. And I will say that that Tron was slow. But that's on sober watching. While it was happening, it was the best fucking thing ever. Like,
so Tron drunk or on any sort of sense is way faster than sober Tron.
It doesn't even matter if it's kind of slow. You're just like, ooh, colors, lights, this is awesome. I love life.
I think that is also the best. Maybe, I think I've seen Tron more than once, but I believe
I'm talking about the sequel. So.
What?
Well, like the sequel. I mean, like the first one. No,
yeah, modern day Tron. Like, there's original, like, right. Greatest Tron, and then there's like modern Tron. But
right. The Church of Flynn of latter-day Tron.
I think I was at someone's house when I watched Tron, but I think I also was quite drunk when I watched it, and I think that also made it a lot better.
It helps.
It's not a bad movie, but it is quite different slow when you're sober.
Yes. So yeah. Anyway.
So was everyone? So it was Lizzie's significant other Eric's birthday the other week.
Right.
Was everyone drunk or just you, Lizzie?
Everybody was drunk.
Yeah, that's not true, because I asked Graham. I was like, was everyone drunk? Was Holly drunk? And Graham said, I think Holly was having fun, but she was pretty much the hostess. That was his answer.
Well, I didn't get that drunk. I had a couple of drinks, but I was mostly like cleaning up as usual.
Right.
So everyone was drunk, meaning so Lizzie was like drunk texting me. And
not like embarrassing things.
I know you weren't
like just like nice friendly things. It was like, how are you doing?
You just texted me out of the blue, and like you were just texting me, and I couldn't talk because I was working, which is why I wasn't at the party. And I was like, okay, well, I feel obligated to text back.
Were you like in a meeting or something?
No, I was working an event.
Oh.
Hustling.
But I was hustling. I was making money. I felt obligated to text back because Lizzie never texts people, she never initiates the text because she didn't used to have a texting plan, and now she does. But Lizzie, initiated the texts, and so I was like, well, I should text her back.
Maybe something is wrong.
I should text her back, and I have a feeling she's maybe drunk. But I really am busy, which is why I'm not at the party, which I feel like she should have. She's drunk and like being very friendly about like missing me at the party, which like goes into this endless circle of me being busy and not being at the party because I'm working and I really don't have time to text her back, but I feel obligated to because she never texts me.
It's whatever. It's fine.
It was a conundrum, to say the least.
Yeah.
I was very sad not to be at that party. It sounded like a great time.
There was, so I decided, because we were talking about Mai Tais, and we like really futilely tried to make it like tiki themed.
Mm-hmm.
Which apparently, really quick, it was Tiki Day at Disneyland this past weekend.
Oh no!
I know. Was it?
Yeah, it was Tiki Day. So next year, man.
Is there like a calendar of these underground days at Disneyland? What?
There is apparently, but I don't remember what it's called.
The like online that you can find this calendar.
It's like a list of Disney special days or something.
Tiki Day.
I'm pretty disappointed.
I know. It's pretty upsetting.
Next year.
I just know that there's a pinup day coming up in like a few weeks, and that's only because I follow like a pinup Instagram. It's called Pug Day.
Nice.
It's like Pug at the Park.
Indeed.
It's like Pin Up Gala. Pug.
Pug. That's clever. That's one of those really forced acronyms.
Yeah. Well, I'm sad that we missed Tiki Day.
Yeah, me too.
Should have been it. Oh my God! Do you know what the best drink at Disneyland is? You know, okay, so it's not Disneyland. It's technically California Adventure because there's not drinks at Disneyland.
Right.
Except at like Club Whatever.
Yeah, which like hardly anyone can get into.
Right.
At California Adventure, there's a like little kind of like Hollywood Regency, like I don't know if it's just a bar or if it's a restaurant, but it's right before you go down that like boulevard that leads you towards where like the Tower of Terror is, in that like Muppets area, and the fucked up area where the children's theaters are. But if you go in there is like a dill pickle cocktail.
Oh, that sounds foul.
No, it's so good. I thought it was going to be gross, but it was so amazing. We went to Disneyland for Chloe's birthday, and we like ended the night getting drinks before we went for dinner. And Chloe got this like dill pickle drink. It was not called dill pickle drink. It was called something like fancier that made it sound like the threshold was less of an obstacle there. But it's basically like a dill pickle with like gin or something. Gin. And it sounded terrible, but it was amazing. It was like a savory cocktail. I mean, you drink Bloody Marys, right?
Yeah.
It's basically like a Bloody Mary, except it's like a dill pickle. It was like one of those like dill pickle like giant things. I shouldn't make this.
No, that's exploitable.
Well, you know, people have already photoshopped peepees in my mouth, so it's fine.
Is that a wiki page too?
Probably somewhere.
Peepees photoshopped into people's faces?
Yeah, but next time anyone goes to California Adventure, try it. It's great.
Indeed.
And then obviously Trader Vic's.
Right.
Just anything.
Well, it's not really Trader Vic's, but...
I mean, not Trader Vic's, Trader Sam's.
Trader Sam's, which is the knockoff Trader Vic's.
Yeah.
Anyway, so did anybody find comments from previous weeks?
Someone asked a question on Twitter earlier, and I'm going to try and find it.
Okay. Jessica? Did you do homework?
Well, let me just pull up my quote from the previous week.
Okay.
I didn't have it prepared, but I do have it, so let me just go and grab it. It was from the last time I was on the Crabcast, which was 2 episodes ago, because I was in Canada and then I was working, so I was not there, unfortunately.
And you were missed.
Why? Thank you.
So I found the question. Should I read it?
Yeah,
Yes,
go for it.
please.
It's from on Twitter at Vaughn's blog. First time cosplaying and accepted in New York Comic Con's cosplay competition. Any words?
Yay!
Wait, I didn't hear the end of that.
Any words of wisdom? It's his first cosplay competition.
Don't take it seriously, and talk to everyone that is also entering.
They will probably mostly be cool people, but if they're jerks, just ignore them, and they're not actually in the spirit of cosplay.
Yeah, make friends
Yeah.
and ignore douchebags.
Right.
Exactly.
That's just good advice for life.
Don't expect anything. Like, the main fun part is just getting on stage and getting to have fun. Like, if you win an award, then yay. If you don't, then yay. It doesn't really matter. The awards don't mean anything. They're just for fun.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay, Jessica, you want to go?
You go next, Liz.
Okay, so I have to find it. So, mine's not really like a question, but somebody today tweeted after I tweeted that the Crabcast was happening. Some nerd K at some nerd K on Twitter said that a real celebration would include a show and tell of your self-lubricating bamboo slide rule because, in caps, it is awesome. And it indeed is awesome. So I have both the slide rule and its original book. So
Wait, do you have the bamboo slide rule?
Yeah,
I have it with you.
Yes, I keep. I mean, this is where I live. Like, this is where I keep my shit.
How long have you had? Did you get that from your mom's house, or have you just had that like at your
like okay, so I guess for people that don't know, I collect like old like scientific textbooks, like I don't know, like ones that are interesting, I guess, from like the Cold War era, like especially ones that were used like internally for like defense and stuff like that. But anyway, this was my dad's. He was an engineer, and this is what he used to use in the 60s and 70s when he was working. So yeah, here's the instruction booklet. It's pretty awesome.
That's awesome.
All these, really nice, like old-timey. It's just like I love like the typesetting. And there's always like Futura, and then like I don't know. It's amazing.
I thought you were gonna say like old-timey equations. I was like, probably a lot of them still hold up.
Yeah. So that yes. Well, I mean, there's like approximations and stuff, and it's like now you can just use a normal calculator to fix that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so here is the actual slide rule. So
the bamboo lubricated slide rule.
It is amazing. So I mean, you can see it is a post Verstalog, which is
and it's vintage too, right?
And it's vintage. Yeah, it's original. It's never been. I haven't ever taken it apart or anything like that, and so.
As
you can
long
see
as I've known Lizzie, she's had this.
Yeah. So my senior photo, actually. So like, so Jessica posed. So like, there's the senior photo, and then everybody does these like senior photos that they like pose with their hobbies. So like Holly was like, it was hers with her. What were you wearing? Like your cloak, like your Ren Fair costume.
Something like that.
Yeah, and so Jessica was dressed up in her
No,
costume.
Holly was wearing her Ren Fair. She was wearing like
with like a sword and shit too. Like it was like really elaborate.
She was wearing her corset, and she was wearing like her the circlet, and she was holding the staff she made.
Yes, that's right.
And I think like maybe a dagger.
I was holding a dagger.
Like this. It was like this.
Yeah.
That was the pose.
And it was totally badass, and you had you had
against like a white cyclorama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was pretty classy.
Yeah.
It was super dumb because my haircut at the time was so 90s. It was bad.
I don't think so. I think it holds up.
Yeah, no, like you, I mean, compared to like, I don't know, me.
I just had no
Really?
vision, so I was just like, I'm gonna do what I want, I guess.
Yeah. But anyway, Jessica wore her puck costume from one of the plays she was in high school.
A Midsummer Night's Dream.
A Midsummer Night's Dream. And I wore a lab coat and held my slide rule. That was... There we go. That was my yearbook. That was my senior picture.
I think we haven't changed at all.
No, pretty much. It's exactly the same.
Not really.
So, yeah. Yeah, awesome. I got to show off my slide rule and be a huge nerd. So.
Right.
Do you want to go now?
So my comment, and I closed the window before I could remember before I like wrote down the username. I'm super sorry. But my favorite comment from like a few weeks ago, and I don't even remember what the context was, but you all can imagine, I'm sure, knowing me. But my favorite comment was, Jessica's gonna get the diabetes. And I think it's appropriate because my mother was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes earlier this year, which is not funny, but I think it's really funny because she called me the other week while I was at Disneyland, and she goes, Jessie? And I was like, hey, Mom. And she was like, I just wanted to let you know that I did my blood sugar test, and I got an 80. And if you know, like for blood sugar, you're supposed to have like below like 100 or 110 or something like that. But if you have diabetes, you're really supposed to have like somewhere between 120, 140, something like that. When my mom first started doing her blood sugar when she was diagnosed, she had like 200 or 220 or like something.
That's really, really high.
Yes, it's crazy. So she was like, I had 80. It was so low, I had to eat an M&M. So
one M&M?
Yeah, she was like, I hadn't eaten M&M. So maybe when y'all are at Disneyland, you can get me some Divinity, just in case my blood sugar's low again. And I was like, Mom, you don't get a reward for having diabetes. Like, that's not how it works. You have a disease and she was like, well, it's not my fault. It's my body. And I was like, it's like kind of your fault because you have bad eating habits. And she was like, Jessie, you know that it's in our family. And I was like, so you're telling me that I'm going to get diabetes and I can't do anything about it? And she was like, well, maybe. So maybe you could be a little bit more supportive and get me some Divinity. I promise I'll put it in the freezer. I only ate one M&M. I'm real good about it. And I was like, well, fine, whatever. So, yes, I'm probably going to have diabetes. And I'm just going to accept it now and drink all of the rock candy syrup I can, because someday I'm going to have a blood sugar level of 220, and I'm going to have to start just not eating anything I like until I have a blood sugar level of 80, and then I can have one M&M and start begging someone, probably not my children because I shouldn't be allowed to have them, but someone to buy me Divinity at Disneyland. Wow. So thank you for your poignant comment. You had no idea how true it rang.
Indeed.
Amazing.
Tip, tip.
Tip, tip. So, I guess, should we wrap up the Crabcast?
Mm-hmm.
Since it's been an hour, maybe-ish?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I guess sorry it was so late tonight. But we had one. We had a very special edition, late night National Podcast Day Crabcast. So
Right.
Hooray! Happy National Podcast Day.
we did something.
Folks,
Does this even get like linked up to iTunes?
no.
So people like just cannot listen to it. Here I've been thinking people have been listening to it maybe, and
It did, but it got cut off somehow. I tried to like start it back up again, but like something got messed up in the system, and I don't know how to fix it. But go start a podcast. Start your own podcast and just have fun and do it for the heck of it.
indeed.
True.
All right.
And go make a little kitty cat. Like, that's not a kitty
That's
cat.
an
What is
owl.
that now?
Penguin now.
Oh, go start a kitty cat or a little owl, or follow
Indeed.
Holly and buy one of hers.
Indeed. Agreed. All right. So thanks everybody.
Yeah.
And yeah, have
Thanks
a
for
good
watching.
night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Bye.
And it's going to stop in a second. And nope, not stopped yet.